Okay, good morning, friends. So today we'll start the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Okay, so till now what we have covered, we have covered only the MOS junction or MOS capacitor. Okay, and one by one we have calculated that QV characteristics. Finally, we have calculated that CV characteristics. Okay, though that's a MOS junction, so there is no electrical connection between that gate and substrate. Okay, and one oxide layer is in between that. So there is no IV characteristics, only the CV characteristics. Okay, so every region, that accumulation region, depletion region, inversion region. So we have calculated the charge. What are the CV characteristics or capacitor profile or charge profile in that region? So we have also that graphically showed or calculated, and also we have derived the threshold voltage equation and flat band equation. Okay, both for ideal MOSFET and non-ideal MOSFET. Okay, so non-ideal MOSFET, two things we have considered, that is phi ms is metal to wire function. Okay, so in that also we have also just give some means how the phi ms will change. Okay, if it's metal or polysilicon or heavily doped or lightly doped or N type polysilicon or P type polysilicon. For that case, how phi ms will change. And also we have also talked about that phi f fixed charge, QF fixed charge. So due to that, how flat band voltage changes. Okay, so these things we have already discussed, and we have derived all the equations. Okay, and also we have discussed the body effect. Okay, so if the substrate to source or source to substrate bias is there, a positive bias is there, how threshold voltage increases. Okay, so these all the things we have discussed in very detail. So I think you have understood everything. So if you have not understood, please go again and again. Okay, so whatever today we'll discuss, this is about the MOSFET. Okay, so this is not that only MOS junction is the MOSFET, metal oxide field effect transistor. Here we will discuss the IV characteristics, current voltage characteristics. Okay, and that current flow through the MOS, okay, will controlled by the gate terminal. And here in this, up to that body effect, we have discussed the 3-terminal device. Here we will discuss the 4-terminal device. So one is gate, another is source, drain, then bulb. Okay, and the current will flow from the drain to source. Okay, so when the current will flow, it depends upon the gate voltage. So depends upon the gate to bulb voltage or gate to source voltage. So that current will flow. Okay, so that thing we will discuss here. So now our main aim is we'll get this type of curve. So this is very important. So this is our main goal, means how we will get the ID VDS characteristics of a MOSFET. Okay, so first you can see this right side figure is the MOSFET. Okay, so this is a N channel MOSFET. Okay, so here you can see this is gate terminal, this point is gate terminal, this is drain, this is source. Okay, and this is body. Here source and body is connected, and we are giving a VGS, gate to source voltage, positive voltage, and here drain to source voltage. Okay, VDS. Now this MOSFET already, I think you have already familiar with the BJT, means BJT characteristics curve. Yes or no? ICVC or ICVB, that input characteristics, output characteristics. Okay, you are okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is some difference in BJT. This curve, the left side, if you see that ID VDS, it's nothing but almost same, looking like same as the BJT characteristics, output characteristics. Okay, so here the difference is in BJT 3 terminals are there, base, emitter, collector, but here 4 terminals are. That is the first important difference, because here the gate is equivalent to analogous to that base of the BJT, and drain is equivalent to that collector, and emitter is equivalent to that, your source is equivalent to that emitter. But this body is extra terminal. Here with this body terminal, we can do lot in this MOSFET, because if we connect a source to body supply, then we can change the threshold voltage also. Okay. And another difference is in BJT, there is some finite current flowing through base. Okay, base to emitter current is there. But here, the gate current is, what is finite or zero?
Zero.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So because we already discussed that, so there is a capacitor in between that, means it's a separation, that isolation device is there, SiO2. So there is no current through that gate. But in BJT case, some current is there. Okay. So that's why for this, there is no input characteristics curve. Like BJT, in BJT, you can see that ICVB. Okay. But here you cannot get that, or IV, VB, but here there is no input characteristics curve. Okay. It is ID only. So whatever you change, means in VGS or VBS or VDS, so only output current will be there. Okay. So no input current, but that in that BJT case, some IV current is there. So that's why that beta factor is there, amplification factor. But this thing is not here. Okay. So these are the differences, and also you can see the curve. Here you can see there are 7 curves. Okay. So the first one, this one, there is the current is 0. Okay. When VGS, okay, the VGS is less than VT, threshold voltage, that means no current is flowing, ID is equal to 0. So this is directly coincide with that x-axis. Okay. But when you will increase that VGS is greater than VT, so once current will flow. Okay. So this curve, this is ID versus VDS, but for different VGS value. Okay. So these are the different VGS value. It's ID versus VDS, but for different VGS value. And these dotted lines is nothing but the left side of this is called linear region, and this is the saturation region. Okay. That means current saturates after this point. This point is not that saturation point. Okay. Means this is at this point. So before that point, you can say it is linear region, and after this point, it is called saturation region. Okay. But BJT, this region is called active region. You know, saturation, left side is saturation region, because so BJT and MOSFET, different theories are there, different people have invented this thing. So that's why this nomenclature is there. But in MOSFET, you can remember this region is saturation because the current is saturates here. Okay, this region is linear because you can see the current voltage relationship is almost linear in this region. Though this part is not linear, we will discuss what is that. It's not linear, but what is that? So that thing we will also discuss. But generally, this part is linear and this part is saturation. Okay, so only because the current is saturates here. Okay. So we have not discussed here that breakdown region. Okay, though at this saturation, some currents are increasing with VDS, because we said it saturates, means it's constant, it should be constant, but somehow it's increasing. Why it increasing, we'll discuss that. Okay. So these are the region of operation and the terminals. I said from terminals, and also I have discussed that what the difference between BJT and MOSFET, particularly in this arrangement. Okay, what are the terminal in the terminal? What are the operations also? Okay. So these things, our main aim is we'll get finally these things. So that's why I have discussed this thing. So if you connect MOSFET with this bias arrangements, so finally we'll get this. And if you change this VGS, we'll get different type of curves, and also the threshold points also will change. Okay, so this is this dotted line is the threshold. How it is changed, how it is, means why it is changing, how it is changing. This thing, everything we will discuss. Okay. So now this is our aim. So finally, after this lecture, after 2 hours of lecture, we will get this, or 3 hours of lecture, we will get. Finally, we will get this. So now we'll see. And before another thing is here in the text I have mentioned. So different type of field effect transistor. What are the field effect transistor? There are different types of field effect transistor. One is junction field effect transistor, metal semiconductor field effect transistor, MESFET, heterostructure field effect transistor, and metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Okay. So these are the different types of field effect transistors. But here only we will discuss that MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. And this MOSFET operates on everything. So it is completely based on that MOS junction or MOS capacitor. Whatever we have discussed, it is based on that. So whatever next equations or derivations, what we will do, will based on that thing. Okay. So here we will discuss the MOSFET, and these are the characteristics of, this is the biasing arrangement of the MOSFET. Clear? So already I have also Prachita and Satabdi in the last lab class shown this type of curve also. Satabdi particularly showed that family of curve by changing the VGS, how you are getting these things. Okay. So this is typically we have to derive, we will get this. So now come to that MOSFET classification. So now if we see, it's very simple thing. So you know already, but again I'll say something. So MOSFET generally two types: N channel MOSFET, P channel MOSFET. So throughout our discussion, we have discussed only N channel MOSFET. Okay. So in the same way, you can derive all the equations, all the curves, charge, and CV characteristics, everything, that accumulation and that depletion, inversion, threshold voltage, everything we can calculate on the P channel also. Okay. So I will suggest you can do that. That may be an assignment for you. So you will do that. So because sometimes when interviewer ask about the P channel, people are simply lost. Means they have discussed always familiar with the N channel. So when they will ask the P channel, they will not able to answer. So that's why I strongly recommend that you also work on P channel MOSFET. Okay. What are the different regions? What is the voltages? What is the QV characteristic? What is the CV characteristic? If the body effect, body bias will be there, then what will the effect on the threshold voltage? Okay. What is the band diagram? Okay. What is the phi ms? What is QA? So all these things you can calculate on the P channel also. Okay. So that you can build your knowledge. Okay. You can analyze in better way. You can understand in a better way. So I'll strongly recommend, please do that for P channel MOSFET. Okay. So then again, N channel MOSFET, two types are there. Again, N channel or P channel, two types are there. One is normally on, another is normally off. Similarly for P channel, normally on, normally off. So what is normally on, what is normally off? In normally on means without giving any threshold voltage, or threshold voltage less than 0 for a simple NMOS. So we have only discussed if our threshold voltage is if it will touch the threshold voltage. If you are giving a VGS or VGB, get to bulk or get to source, when it will touch the threshold voltage, then the inversion charge will come to that surface, then a channel will form, then current will flow. Okay. So in that case, threshold voltage is a positive voltage. Okay. So until and unless you will touch that threshold voltage, so the device will not on. So for that case, this is a normally off device. Means without giving any threshold, any voltage, the device will be off. Okay. So that is called enhancement. Means we have to enhance that charge. Okay, you have to enhance that charge or enhance the channel. So that is normally off device, means you have to give the voltage to on that. But in normally on device, it is generally called depletion mode MOSFET. So it is normally on, means without giving any voltage, even if in zero threshold voltage, means zero VG voltage, VGS voltage, the device is on. Okay, so that's why it is called depletion mode device or normally on. Okay, but in the enhancement, we have to give a positive voltage for NMOS and a negative voltage for PMOS to on that channel or to flow that current. Okay, but again, that normally on or normally off also two types, that surface channel and buried channel. What is surface channel? Surface channel means the current will flow on the surface only. That means the charges, all the charges, the interface charges, means that inversion charges will be in the surface only. Okay, very thin means region that is in the surface. So that is surface channel. But in buried channel, what happens? We have to buried means we have to dot some electrons or holes by doping. Means it will extend, that channel will extend downward. In the case, suppose here, so in the surface channel, so it is in the surface only. Okay, but in the buried channel, so you have to implant or you have to dop some charges here in this region. Okay, so it will extend towards some in this direction. Okay, so that's why it is called buried channel. So due to that, current will flow in this channel. So throughout this region, current will flow. Okay, all the charges. So this is called buried channel. Okay, this is the only difference. Surface, at the surface, buried. So some distance is there. Okay, this is the region we have to dop in this region with the electrons. Okay, so so by doing this, by implanting or doping the charges, we are changing the threshold voltage of the transistor. Okay, so this is the point. So every case, whether it's a off device or on device, okay, so the surface channel is there, buried channel is there. Means
Which is, sir, which is more effective, surface channel or buried channel?
so it's see, depends on the application. We can do that. We cannot say which is effective. Okay, suppose we need a different threshold voltage. Okay, we have to do some doping or we have to do some implantation of charge in that channel region. Okay, so that we can change the threshold voltage. Okay, so depends on the application. So we can do this type of things. These options are there in the fabrication. So these options are there. Either it's a surface channel, means you don't have to do anything, or we have to implant on the surface only. The buried channel means we have to implant the charges in a buried layer. Okay, so by doing this, means obviously in fabrication, this buried part again another process will come. Okay, but depends on the application, we will do that. That options are there. Okay, only we'll change the threshold voltage. Okay,
Okay, sir.
got that point or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is the two way. So generally in the interview, people are confused. Means it's buried channel means means normally on device or depletion device. It's nothing. It's for every enhancement, whether it's enhancements or whether it's depletion mode. So buried can be done. Means buried channel can be there. Okay, it depends upon you what you want. You want buried channel or surface channel. Okay, so buried channel you have to do an extra process in the fabrication. Okay, got this point?
Yes, sir.
So here, so it's all our surface channel, SC, buried channel. Okay, basic. So here in the text I have so written, if VT is positive, we have to apply a positive voltage for current flowing. Is current. So if ID is equal to 0, these 2 points is very important. If ID is equal to 0 at VGS is equal to 0, then this is called normally off device. Okay, that means at VGS, for I am talking about the N channel only. Okay, so forget about P channel MOSFET. So whatever I am discussing only about N channel. So you can, it's your assignment, means you can do same thing on P channel. Okay, so then you will understand better. So for this N channel, if VGS is equal to 0, if ID is equal to 0 at VGS is equal to 0, then it's called normally off device. If ID is equal to finite, it's non-zero. Okay, some ID is there at VGS is 0, then it is called normally on device. That depletion mode device. Okay, got or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
To on the device, VGS must be V of threshold now, sir.
What?
Sir, to on the device, VGS must be equal to or greater than threshold voltage. But
See, for a N channel MOSFET, for a normal N channel MOSFET, if your threshold voltage is positive, okay, threshold voltage means, what is the threshold voltage? Just say me, what is threshold voltage?
sir,
Huh.
the gate voltage at which that means there is a inversion means
There is a inversion charge in the means interface of that semiconductor and yeah, oxide and silicon interface. Okay, that means channel will form.
yes, sir.
So if that channel will form with a positive voltage, okay, that means threshold voltage is your positive. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That means if you will give a positive voltage, then channel will form, then source and drain is there, current will flow from drain to source. Means from this to this. Okay. So for that case, this is a normally off device. Means if you will give 0 voltage, that means it's a off, no current. If you will give a positive voltage, then current will flow.
VGS has to be positive with respect to VT in order to make it.
Your voice is not clear.
I mean, so VGS has to be positive with respect to VT in order to on the device.
Yes, means generally that VGS nothing but to on the device, that is called VT. Means VGS is nothing but
VGS value depends on VT. If VT is positive, VGS has to be a positive in order to on the device. So if it is less than 0, then ID is equal to 0.
0. Yes, that means
That is
exactly.
normally we say off device.
Exactly, it's a normally off device. So further normally on device, that even if that VGS is 0, the channel is formed. The channel is formed or current is flowing. So that is normally on device. Okay. So for that case, what happened? Initially, the channel is implanted. Suppose it's a N-type MOSFET. So channel is implanted with electrons. Okay. So already the channel is formed. Okay. Channel is there. So without any giving voltage or 0 voltage, the means current will flow. So that is the difference between normally off, normally on device. So everyone clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this thing. So how we'll change that? So how we'll change that means that normally off, normally on. How we'll change that threshold voltage? Already we have discussed. This VT is depends upon that VFB. Okay. So VT is nothing but what? One voltage is that phi OX, another is phi S, another is that phi MS, another is phi F due to phi by C0. Okay, this 4 voltage is combined, then finally you get the VT. Okay, that phi OX, phi S, forget about that we are not doing anything on. So we will do the engineering on this thing only, that phi MS and phi F. Okay, so phi MS, what we will do? We will change the metal, okay, or polysilicon doping. So you can change this value, and also phi F also, though this is the fixed charge, we can add the charges, positive charges or negative charges. Okay, that QI, implantation charge we can add. Okay, if you add that charge, then definitely this voltage will change, then VT will be changed. So this implantation charge generally, this is here. So for a normally on device, before means in the fabrication steps, so implantation is added in this region. So for N channel, this electrons are added. So that's why this QI generally called as QI. Okay. So this is the way, means how we can change a normally off device to normally on device. Okay, so by changing these things we can do. So here this is the for N channel, VT is less than 0 means it's normally off, VT is greater than it's normally on. So P channel also VT is less than 0 normally on, VT is greater than 0 normally on. So I think you are clearly understood this thing. Okay. So the surface channel already said current flow in the interface of semiconductor, and buried channel current flow in the buried doped channel. Okay, so here means if you already have drawn in the last slide. So this thing means here the surface current and the buried. So if you do a buried layer, okay, then current will flow in this. So this thing I think you understood. Okay. So now you can see the figure, two figures. The left one is surface channel, the second one is the buried channel. In the surface, here the current is flowing, here the buried layer. Okay. So overall, so by discussing this thing, finally you conclude that MOSFETs are two types. One is N type, N channel, then P channel. Again, N channel is enhancement, then depletion. P also enhancement, depletion. Then it is SC, surface channel, then buried channel, again SC, BC, SC, BC, like that. So this is the MOSFET structure, or MOSFET means how MOSFET means classified in different way. Okay. So now come to the MOSFET symbol. Generally, though you are talking about the MOSFET, you should clear about the how this symbol is. Okay. So you can see for normally off device or enhancement MOSFET. So first see this. So actually this is the real symbol. Okay, general why? Because this part source is said, this is the channel part, this is the drain. Okay. So initially it is not connected. That channel and source and drain is not connected because there is no channel formation. Okay. So in a normal off device or enhancement device, without giving any voltage, the channel is not on, means there is no channel. So that's you can see these three lines, means one is source, one is drain, one is that means channel. It's not connected, it's not formed. Okay. And this terminal is gate, and this in between the insulation layer. Okay. So in this way you remember. So due to that insulation SiO2. So this is the gap. Now in the B also you can see one arrow mark is there. Okay. So what is this arrow mark? So do you know what is this arrow mark?
Direction of voltage.
No, no. So this is C. This is a N channel MOSFET. Okay. So you know. So this is our source. This is drain. This is your oxide. So when the VGS will be VT, so one N channel will form. Yes or no? N channel. Okay. And this is P. Okay. So this is P and this is N. So this is a induced PN junction. Yes or no? This is N channel and this is P. So this is a induced PN junction, means it's N, it's P. So that's a, if N and P is there, then so you can represent it in a diode or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that thing is there. So this part is your diode. Okay. So this is all about the symbol. How this symbology look like this. This is the gate, that is the insulation layer. This is source, this is drain. The channel is not formed. That's why there is a gap. And this part is P to N. That is it's anode, this is cathode. This is the way the symbol is. Got the point? How it is look like this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, normally on, you can see here the channel is continuous. Okay, it's a normally on, means without giving any voltage also channel is there. That's why it's continuous. Okay, this is the only difference. Similarly, for P channel device, this part will be different. Okay, because in P channel, so in P channel you can see. So this is your N and this inversion charge is P. Yes or no? So now the PN will be formed. So this type of dot. So that's why it's represented as this. Okay. So this is also same. Only the difference is the channel. Okay. So clear how the symbol is generally formed. If anyone asks about this symbol, very basic thing, but if you will not answer, then something means you will say you don't know anything. Okay, it's very simple thing. You need to know this. Okay. So now, so this is all about that means MOSFET structure and now the MOSFET symbols. Okay. So here already though we have discussed about the MOSFET fabrication. So we will not to complete that part also we can discuss that MOSFET fabrication, but we have already covered that. So we will not discuss. You know how the MOSFET structure is, how the different layers form. Okay, how implantation, that metallization, that patterning, everything you know. Okay. So now directly we'll go to that ID VDS characteristics curve. Okay. So here in the first slide we discussed what is the biasing means arrangement, and this is the ID VDS curve. Okay. So here the important thing is in practice we'll take the reference as source. Okay. Here the bulk is body is connected to the source, here source, and VGS, whatever we will do, we'll say it's VGS and it's VDS. Okay. So in practice or in practical case, this is actually real thing. But in our analysis, what we will do, we'll take the reference as bulk. Okay. Here we will not take the reference as source. But same, it is the same thing. It's no difference. But here, for analysis, it will be very easy because whatever analysis we have done the MOS structure, that is reference to the bulk. So here also, whatever analysis you will do, that is reference to the bulk only. Okay, that VGB, VSB, and VDB. Okay, so here also you can from this you can also refer that source also, because VDB is nothing but VDS minus VBS. VDB means this voltage to bulk is nothing but this to this again minus this to this. Okay, so VDS minus VBS. VGB also this to this is nothing but VGS minus this VBS. Okay, so this way you can, but it's more easy to analyze all those things with reference to bulk. So that's why we'll discuss this thing. Okay, but finally when you will calculate that ID VDS characteristics curve, so that time in the circuit we'll take the reference source. Okay, so there is no nothing should be, I mean, it's not different exact things, But only thing is for analysis purpose, we will take the bulk as reference. Okay. So here, whatever ID we will calculate, it's the function of VDB, VGB, and VSB. Okay. So sometimes we will change that VDB, okay, drain to bulk voltage, and VGB also get to bulk voltage, or VSB also. Okay. So for this, every case we will calculate our, or we will draw our ID VDS graph. Okay. So here in the some text you can write when VDB is equal to VSB. Okay. So an uniform charge picture can be seen. Here also another way you can think about, if VSB is equal to 0. Okay. If VSB is equal to 0, that means it's nothing but VGS. Okay. But what we said that source is reference. So here you can say it's VGS if VSB is 0. And again, this is also VDS. Okay. So only to means to see our effects, to see the effects of VSB in our equation. So we have added in this way. We have taken the bulk as the common terminal. Okay. So now you can see if these two voltages, are same, VDB and VSB, okay, then so there is no effect on these two, means only that surface charges only because of this bulk to get to bulk voltage. If these two are constant, means constant or 0, whatever be the, only whatever be the charge will come only because of that VGB. Okay, because it's a common terminal. Here 1 n plus, here 1 plus. If this voltage will be this voltage, so there is no influence of this and this on this surface charge. Okay, so already we have discussed that body effect. That time drain was not there, only source was there. So due to these voltages, this depletion region changes and the inversion charges reduces. But if both will be same, so there will be no effect. Only that VGB effect will come, and the surface charges, that in interface inversion charges will be uniform. Okay, so this is one point. Second point is, as VDB increases, means VDB increases from this, when this voltage and this voltage will be same, there will be no effect. As VDB increases from this voltage, what happens? This depletion region will increase, yes or no? Two, three things will happen here. So one by one I'll say. Once this voltage VDB will increase, if VDB will increase, you can see first, suppose initially this VSB and VDB in the same potential. That means this point to this point, this source point to, so initially suppose this voltage and this voltage is same. Okay, that means from these to this voltage difference, okay, from these to this difference is 0, yes or no? Because this is common point. If this voltage and this voltage will be same, then there is no voltage drop across this terminal to this terminal.
Sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, suppose this is constant. Now we are increasing slowly this voltage. That means drop between these to this will increase or not?
Yes, sir.
That means
Yes,
if you take as reference, suppose it is 0 or it is VSB, then this voltage will increase towards this region. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If this voltage will increase, then this depletion region will increase in this area or not?
Yes, sir.
If depletion region increase, then negative charge due to that acceptor atoms will increase because area increasing. Already you have discussed in the body effect. Area increasing.
Yes, sir.
Increase. That means here the inversion charge will decrease or not? Because the voltage is constant. This part is increase means this voltage will increase. Okay. So finally this voltage will decrease. This voltage will decrease. Okay. So if this voltage will decrease, then this inversion charge will decrease or not? That means the control of gate at this side will decrease or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. That means inversion charge slowly decrease in this region. When you will increase that VDB, drain voltage, when you will increase that drain voltage, will start from same voltage. This voltage and this voltage will be same at VSB. But after that, when you will increase slowly VDB, that means this depletion region will be more and more depletion charges will be there and inversion charges will be decreased in this particular region. Slowly it will decrease. Yes or no? So one by one, this thing you are getting or not? Just if you are not getting, again I will say.
Getting, sir.
Okay. So now come to this. If you are getting, then I will go to next. So this thing I have written. So as VDB increases, so as VDS means increases. VDS means this voltage to this voltage. Okay, drain to source. Okay, if this voltage increases, this is constant, then this voltage will increase. So that thing happen. VDS increases. Voltage across the channel increases towards the drain. Means if you will go towards the drain, this voltage will. That means suppose this is 0, this is somewhat more than 0. Okay. Now if we will calculate these to this voltage, initially suppose this is gate and this is source. So here this gate voltage minus 0 and this is gate voltage minus non-zero. That means if you calculate this voltage, gate to this voltage, it will be definitely decrease from here, because this is nothing but source. As channel is formed, this is N and this all are N types means electrons. That is nothing but it's a channel. Means this is a N type. It's N type material, like, okay. That means whatever voltage will be there, it's like a short circuit. Okay. So if this voltage is 0, this voltage, suppose for example, so you should be very clear about this. Suppose this is 0, this is 1 at this point, it is 2, this is 3, this is 4 and 5. That means we are giving this VDB is equal to VSB plus 5 voltage. Okay, this is 5. So that means at this point, if you check, VDB is 0 voltage. At this point 1 voltage, it is 2 voltage, 3 voltage, like that it's 5 voltage. Now suppose this is initially it is 5 voltage, VG also 5 voltage. Okay, suppose this is let VSB is equal to 0 voltage. Now what is the value of this voltage? VGS means gate voltage minus this voltage,
5 volt. 5
5
volt.
volt.
5
5
volts.
volt. So here what is the voltage? VGS
4 volt.
4. Great. Here 3. Here 2. Here 1. Here 0. That means now you can understand from these to this voltage, this gate to this voltage, and at this point, if you calculate from gate to this gate terminal, that is at this point 0 voltage. Okay. So think about, if a 0 voltage is there, gate to that channel, then is it able to attract the inversion charge?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So what happened? Finally, this inversion charge will be 0. And sometimes it will be 0. That means at this point inversion charge is more. Now gradually it will decrease. Finally it will be 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because this is the difference is 5 volt, huge. It's almost 5 volt difference here. So almost all electrons it will attract. Means here the electrons will be more. Now though the gate to source voltage will be less gradually, that means the charges, surface charges will be gradually decrease. So finally at this point it will be 0 surface charges. VGS 0 means that obviously so it will not attract surface charges. Okay. So everyone got this point or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So exactly that thing I have mentioned here. So as VDB increases, so as VDS increases, okay, VDS increases, voltage across the channel increases towards the drain. So VGS decreases along the channel length towards the drain terminal. Okay, VGS gradually decreases. Here maximum, here minimum. Okay, so this thing. So next, due to the decrease of VGS towards drain end, okay, drain terminal, control of gate on channel reduces. So now the control on gate means gate control on this inversion charges reduces. So at this point, it will not able to attract more electrons. Okay. So finally, what happened? So in this type of structure, if you increase the VDB, then at this point more electrons or more charges will be there. At this point, 0 charges will be there. So when it will be at 0, so that is called the threshold point. Okay. That inversion charge will be 0 at the exactly drain terminal. That is the threshold point. It's nothing but the threshold point. Okay. So after that, the saturation will start. So before that, it's like linear. So after that, saturation. This is the very important point. So no need to remember any equation. No need to remember any fascinating definitions. Okay. Just if you are anyone asking this thing, draw this curve and explain it. So you will be really impressed. So at least you know this thing in physics level. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, pinch off point or threshold point?
Exactly. Yes. That pinch off point is nothing but a threshold point. You are correct.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. So in different books, different notations are there, different nomenclatures are there. So don't confuse on that. Just apply your understanding. Whatever the book, whether it's a Kahn, whether it's a Muller-Kamin's, whether means that Niemann, whatever books. So definitely their approach, their nomenclature, their notations will be different. Okay, but your understanding, basic understanding should be same. Okay, everyone discuss same thing in different way. So I'm also discussing the same thing in different way. Okay, in a very detailed and very basic way. So just remember these things and think about these things. How sir said this? How is it correct or not? How this will happen? So this thing you means think and understand. Okay. So now come to whatever I have discussed now one by one in the pictorial view. I'll say. So initially, so this is your P substrate. This is oxide, your metal. So now this is the channel length. Okay, L. Yes or no? There is no. I have not drawn any drain and source. Okay, so this is the channel length. Okay, and this is a P substrate, and this direction is X, and this direction is Y. Okay, and you can see a very means at the surface, a very thin regions of interface charges. Okay, so inversion charges. Okay, so that's a somehow it's a somehow distance is there X in X direction. Okay, so that's why I have given X, and in its Y direction it's L. And at any point you can calculate the Vy. At this point, this is generally you can that VL is equal to that VDV, but it is suppose it's 0. Okay, so Vy increases with y and its value Vy is equal to Vsp at this point. Okay, so at this point, this is Vy is equal to Vsp. Okay, source to work, whatever. Vsp may be 0, maybe 1 voltage. That's is Vsp. Okay, because why we can put it 0, we'll get a simple calculation. But finally, in your derivation or in equation, this should be there. That's why I have mentioned a constant Vsp. Okay, and this is nothing but VDB at this point. Okay, the voltage is increasing in this direction. Okay, now, so now you can see. So you can see this is the clear picture. As VDB increases, depletion region increases. Okay, in this region, depletion region, the charge you can see here, and the charge is very thin region. It is thick. Okay, so I have discussed why. Okay, this part you understood or not? Whatever I have discussed, that is in the pictorial view. Okay, so depletion charge increases and inversion charge decreases near the drain terminal. So Akanksha, Susri, Shraddhanjali, everyone getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please ask. If you are not getting, then again I will discuss. So again, you can read this in other way. You can say as VGS gradually decreases towards drain terminal due to the VDS increment, so get unable to attract more inversion charge to the surface. Exactly, we have discussed that. At source side, no voltage changing, so it's almost constant. No voltage changing. So depletion width is constant and inversion charge also constant. So this thing. So this part we are not changing. Only you are changing at this point. So that's why the depletion charge, depletion width also changing at this point only. Okay. So this is constant. If you increase again, it will. If you increase, then it will come like this. Okay. Again, if you increase, it will come like this. Okay. That means this part is constant because voltage constant here. Okay. Only it is changing this voltage. Okay.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, if we keep VDB 0 and VSB, if we increase, then the inversion will happen that in the depletion.
Yeah, that thing already we have discussed in the body effect.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
And is this in this region change? So, left side. Okay, but that time actually this drain was not there. Only that source means that throughout region was source. We have means considered. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So now these are the case. Now it's a very interesting thing. So one by one I'll go. There are 4 cases. I'll discuss 4 cases very detailed. So if you will understood these 4 cases, then easily you can understand that ID VDS curve also. Okay. So in the first case, there is almost uniform. Okay, that VDB is very means almost same, but little bit more than that VSB. Okay, so that's why you can see at drain end this depletion is slightly increases the depletion region, and also charge also slightly decreases. Yes or no? Is it clearly visible? From source side to drain side, you can see the inversion charge slightly decreases, and it is slightly more, it's slightly less, and also the depletion region slightly more. In the case 1, okay.
Yes,
Here,
sir.
yes. Here you can see. So this is your ID. So this terminal is your drain. This terminal is source. Okay. So this is charges flowing, electrons flowing in this direction. That means current will flow in this direction, higher potential to lower potential. Yes or no? Okay. So this is your higher potential. This is your lower potential. Current will flow. So this is one. It's a one path. Okay. So here, suppose VDB1. the current will be, how will define the current? This is voltage by resistance, yes or no? Some voltage drop is there, some current is flowing, that means some resistance is there. So this part is nothing but your resistance. Okay, so this is your 1 minute, one call. Vishnu. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, now see, this is your ID and this is your VD1. So now ID1 is equal to VDB1 by R average 1. So why I am saying R average? Because throughout this region R is not constant resistance, because this region is thin, this region is thick. That means resistance at this region particularly it is more, this region is less. Okay, so that's why I say it's R average. So average resistance of this region, so VDB1 by average is ID1. So got this point? So next come to the, if VDB2 greater than VDB1. So what happened? The charges will be less, gradually it will be less compared to the first picture. Okay, so in this case, what happened? The VDB is more. First of all, the VDB drain to means drain to this voltage, source voltage will be more than that previous case, and also the resistance also more. Okay, resistance also more, but comparatively that increment of voltage resistance is that much not increases. So that's why ID you will get I2 VDB2 by R average 2. So that thing we'll discuss. What is R average 1, R average 2. In the third case, you can see at this drain terminal, the surface charge means inversion charge almost zero. Okay, it's just touch. So after that it will zero. So this point is nothing but your threshold point or pinch off point. Okay, this is your threshold point. So here inversion charges is 0 and ID3 is equal to VDB3 by RV3, R average 3. Okay. So now come to the voltage more than that voltage, VDB. So what happened? If we increase the voltage, so this depletion region again will increase. That means the gate control will be completely lost. That means there is no charge at this drain terminal. So this thing will happen. Okay. Now there will be no charge. So charge will end at here. Okay. So but you are giving VDB4 here. Okay. But in the previous case, we have seen at VDB3, this is 0. This at VDB3, this charges is 0. So that's why the voltage from here to here, we can see it's VDB3 and total voltage is VDB4. So in this region, delta L, it is total L. Now the channel length, effective channel length reduces by delta L. Okay, this part is delta L. So here in this region, the voltage drop is nothing but VDB4 minus VDB3. Yes or no? I have written VDB4 minus VDB3. So total voltage is VDB4 because here I am giving drain voltage, but the charges is end here. And this point voltage I have previously seen that this is at VDB3, the charges at the surface will be 0. So that's why this is the VDB3 and total voltage is VDB4. So the difference is VDB4 minus VDB3, this voltage. Okay, so now ID4 will be VDB3 by R average 4. Okay, so this is your VDB3 by R average 4. Okay. So as in the previous case, you can see ID3 also VDB3, ID4 also VDB3. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
can you please again explain this, how this happened? VDB3 by R average 4.
Because
I understood that it was 0, then after that.
That part, third case you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, fourth case, what happened? If you will increase more voltage, okay, what happened? Again, this charge will zero here.
Yes.
Means it will, this part understood? Okay.
Yes.
So this means at which voltage it will be zero?
VDB3.
VD3, because already you have discussed. At VD3,
Yes, sir.
the charge is, so this voltage is VD3. Okay. So the current is flowing same current here or here, same current. That means you can calculate this current is nothing but VD3 by this is R average. Whatever the current. Okay. So the thing you can see here, at third case and fourth case, if you compare, the VDB is constant in both cases. Okay. So and R average 3 and R average 4 also is constant. It's little bit R average will be less because the length, okay, length is less, okay, because you know rho, if you calculate resistance, rho L by A, okay, if L is equal to less means resistance will be low. So here same thing, VDB is constant, but R average 4 is a little bit less than R average 3. Yes or no? Because the length is same profile, but length is more, your length is less. Okay, length is L minus delta L. So that's why resistance R average is less than R average 3. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So I think everyone clear about this 4 figure
Yes, sir.
in the physical level.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now again I will say same thing. So though it's a complete resistance, so if you will increase voltage, then ID will increase. That means it's a linear, means ID is equal to VDB by this resistance. It's a linear function or not? If you plot ID VDS, that means R almost constant. Okay. So it's a linear. Now if you increase voltage, so gradually this will be from linear to, it will go in a other shape. It will not linear because its resistance is different. Here again the threshold voltage point. Finally here, if you will increase voltage, then the current will be not increase, because always you will calculate that VD3 by R average 4. Okay. So that means from figure you can calculate this is linear, this is somewhat linear, but it's a combination of linear and other, but that is 2 by 3 or 3 by 2 power law things. We'll discuss that. Again, finally, this is the threshold point. After that point, saturation will come. So there is no linear function. It's almost constant because this VD3 is almost constant. So if we will again increase, then this part will come to this. Okay. So again that VD3 will come, but R average will be reduced. Okay. So now come to that plot. In the case 1, this is VDB1, this is the voltage, and due to that current is ID1. So this is the almost linear due to this resistance. Okay, this is linear. Okay, so up to this, this is linear. Got. Now in this region, if we increase same amount of voltage, we will not get same amount of current also. Here the current, you can see here this current or this voltage, you are getting this amount of current. But if you increase same amount of voltage, you are getting same amount of current. So that means it will not linear. Somehow it is function of others. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So again, if you increase voltage VDB, whatever at threshold point, so ID3 will increase in this way. So if you plot this, so it will come to this point. Okay, this particular. So at this point, see, this point is nothing but this voltage VD3. Okay, so this is called threshold point, saturation point, pinch off point, whatever it is. Okay, so that means at QIL means that interface charge at L. This is the L. interface charge at the L is equal to 0 at Y is equal to L, saturation point. Okay. So after that, if you will increase the VDB, so what happen? It will not change. It's almost constant. You can see it's almost constant. Okay, it's almost constant, but little bit increases. Some slope is there. You can see this is the slope. Why this slope is there? Why it increases? I said, though this L and this L, okay, it's different. This is the L. This is L minus delta L. Okay. So the resistance R average and R average 3, R average 4 and R average 4, because this R average 4 is less than R average 3. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because so that's why it's somehow it will increase this current. Okay. So in theoretically always said it's saturated, means it's constant. You can draw it's a constant. But if you plot, so last time you also plot that. So this is somehow increases only because of this R average 4, because this R average 4 is reduced. Okay, because length is reduced, total effective length. Okay. So this up to this point. So after this point, we can say it's saturation. Okay, saturation. And before that, generally called it linear. Though it's not linear in this region, but roughly you can say it's linear. Actually, the linear region is almost these things. So after this, it's not linear. It's like a 3/2 power law. That thing also we discussed. So I expect everyone understood this pictorial view related to that curve also.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I had a doubt
Yes. Yes.
about sir that R average thing. Sir, so
Huh.
this sir R average is because of the electrons in the channel. Like if the electrons are decreasing because of the VD increasing, so that is
Yes.
why R is decreasing.
Yes. See, average. Why I'm saying average? Because the channel is like this. Okay. So this is drain terminal and this is source terminal. Okay. So definitely you can say if the area is more here, okay, the resistance will be less here. Now if you go in this direction, resistance will be, suppose this is your resistance. So here, suppose for example, this is suppose 5 ohm, this is 10 ohm, this is 15 ohm, this is 20 ohm, like this. Okay, because if you this thing, if you see, this area will be less. Here the area is less. This area is more. So in this fashion, the resistance will be there, channel resistance. So if you finally add the average resistance. Means total resistance means you will add everything. Okay, so it's total resistance. Generally, why I'll say average resistance means we assume that the resistance is uniform everywhere. Okay, so though it's a distributed resistance, that number of a distributed resistance into that resistance value. Okay. Are you getting Parthita?
Sir, but the yes, sir, but the density of the electrons is also increasing if the channel is decreasing. So if density will be increasing, then resistance should also increase.
resistance should decrease. The charge
No,
density is inversely proportional.
now where the density increases, source side or drain side?
The source side.
Source side electrons are more, then resistance will be small.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. In the source side, the totally charge region is thick. that means resistance will be small. If you go to that side, drain side, gradually the resistance will be increased. Okay.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Now you got still you have confusion actually.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sir,
Huh.
sir, after increasing, if what VDB I am giving, if I am increasing it much higher than VDB saturation, then is the current going to increase without like after this constant saturation curve, then it is going to increase at constant VD saturation at a very high VDB voltage after this saturation curve.
It is slowly it is increasing after the saturation.
Yes, sir, after that, when I'm giving a very high VDB voltage, after that, if the like there is some extra voltage when we are getting the pinch of voltage point, so the extra voltage is VDB4 minus VDB3.
VDB3, yes.
So when I'm increasing that VDB saturation voltage, then at constant voltage is the ID will be increasing very higher at a very high constant voltage of VDB, because I'm not able to increase the VDB more after that.
No, what I understood from your question means after the threshold point, if you are increasing the VDB, so what happen? That the difference that VDB4 and VDB3 will increase. First, this is okay. And channel length decrease. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So channel length. So your question is how after the threshold voltage the current is slightly increasing.
No, sir, not that. After that increase also, when I'm giving a voltage which is much higher than the threshold,
yes.
the voltage at the threshold
Okay.
point, like
So
VDB4 is much higher now. So the channel length is decreasing gradually. So at some point when the VDB voltage will be much higher, then the IDS just breaks down. It is just like a breakdown point, and it will increase very
breakdown
highly
point
at
will
a
happen.
constant.
So
Yes,
definitely
sir,
for a
I was
particular,
asking.
yes, exactly, for every device, particular device, that drain to source breakdown voltage is mentioned. Okay, so suppose for example 1.18 micrometer technology, suppose we are using suppose 1.8 voltage transistor. Okay, so the VDS, it is 10% higher than that, means it's 1.98 voltage. If you give more than 1.98 voltage to VDS, then it will break down. Okay, so if we will give more and more voltage, definitely after some time it will break down. Okay, but current will flow gradually, it will increase, but after some point current will heavily flow. So that's the breakdown point. Okay, what you are saying, you are correct also.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, for example, for 180 nanometer and for example, if we are using the short channel devices, so is it necessary to know how much VDB we are going to give, such that it does not reach the breakdown point, because it will much early reach that point?
Yes, that's why. So you have to know also, but you cannot go because suppose you are working on 180 nanometer technology. Okay, so that is fixed. It's a 1.8 voltage technology. So you cannot give a 5 voltage to that. Okay. Now you are working, suppose in 500 nanometer technology, you are giving 5 voltage, 3.3. That is okay. But same 5 voltage you cannot give 1.8 nanometer technology voltage. Though 5 voltage devices is there, if you use that 5 voltage devices, if you use in 180 nanometer technology, if you use 5 voltage devices, then you can able to give 5 voltage. But if you use 1.8 voltage device, then you cannot give. Maximum you can give 1.98 voltage, 10% higher. Okay, so everything is there in datasheet. Everything is mentioned. So we have to follow. Otherwise, it will means in simulation also you will not get the perfect result. Finally, it will not allow. Okay, so in datasheet everything is mentioned. Means what should be the maximum voltage? So what the precautions you have to take in the
Yes.
voltage. Okay. Okay. So I think 1 minute. Now, so yeah, in the case for what I have discussed, total channel distance is L minus delta L. So average resistance decreases. So ID is VD by R average. For R average increases as dB increases. Okay. If VDB increase, your length will be decreased. That's why R average decreases. Okay. That's it. These things will happen. Now we'll think in another way. Suppose that VDB, so we say VDB is constant. Okay, in some cases, the VDB is constant means at threshold voltage, suppose VDB is constant. So this is this curve we are getting. Okay, so this voltage is not VDB 3. Okay, so this is the case at VDB 3. So at this drain terminal, charge is almost 0. Okay, so in this case, if we'll change VGB gate to bulk voltage, what will happen? Okay, that thing here we'll discuss. See, VDB is equal to VD3 inverse at the 0. As VGB increases, so VGS at L. So inverse charge increases. So if initially in first case I have given you example 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Okay, suppose it is 0 voltage, it's 5 voltage. Okay, it's also means because it's 5 voltage, it's 5 voltage. We are giving 5 voltage. Okay, so at this point VGB VGS suppose is equal to 0 because 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. So now we will increase VGB, means we are increasing from 5 to suppose 6 or 7, whatever. If we are increasing, then we will get some voltage here. If we will increase 5, then how much voltage we will get? VGS here at drain terminal. Akansha?
Yes, sir.
Suppose this is 5 voltage. Okay. So initially it was 5 and here also drain voltage 5. So initially we are getting the difference is G to source, get to source is 0 voltage. Now we are increasing 5 to 6 voltage, get voltage. But we'll get the voltage here, this point.
1
Which
volt.
is 1 volt. That means initially it was 0. That means that surface charge at that point is 0. We got this type of curve. Now by increasing this voltage VG, we are getting some voltage or 1 voltage here. That means it will able to attract again that inversion charge or not.
Yes, sir.
So if it is able to attract a inversion charge, then what happen? That resistance will decrease or not? Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, resistance will decrease. That means current will more or not, because that VDB by less resistance, current will decrease or not?
Yes.
Current will increase.
It will increase.
Yes. So now the current is increased. So if you will increase VGB, then current will increase. If you increase in this direction, then current will increase. Now come to that threshold point. So if you are increasing 5 voltage to 6 voltage, so now these charges will be not 0. Will be 0 or no? It will not be 0 because at 5 voltage it was 0. if you increase 5 to 6 voltage, it will not be 0. Some finite charges will be there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So be interactive. Otherwise, okay. So the charges will be there. Okay. So charges will be there means it's not threshold point, because we know at drain terminal if charges is 0, meaning that inversion charges will be 0, then we can say it's a pinch off point or threshold point. If charges is not the 0, then we cannot say that is a threshold point. So to get that threshold point, means to get that threshold point or that charges 0, so we have to give VDB. We have to give more VDB.
Yes, sir.
Everyone.
So,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That means if you are increasing VGS from 5 voltage to 6 voltage, that point charges is not 0. To get that charges 0 or threshold point voltage, so you have to give more VDB, drain voltage. Okay. So if you will give, suppose here 5 voltage, that means at 6 voltage again it will come to 0. That charges will be 0. So that point is called threshold point. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now you can see. So now you can see, to get that threshold point, okay, so you have to increase VDB. Okay. So in the previous case, when VGB1 means 5 voltage was there, it's a normal threshold point. If you increasing VGB, the threshold volt will come after some VDB. Okay. Yes, on this point you are visualize, means how this point is coming. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
So that's why if anyone asks, suppose there is a normal curve, ID VDS curve, if we are increasing VGB, so threshold voltage, threshold point will increase or decrease or no change. So what will say? So threshold point will be increase, means that current will increase and the point also it will increase. Okay. So you can see your current is increasing and threshold point also shifting. Okay. It is shifting to another point. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, so you can easily visualize if you are increasing the VGB, then how the current is increasing and threshold point also shifting. Okay. Also you can see here in the more voltage, if you VGB will increase VGB, means you are increasing, then this slope also increase also. Why? Because so that electric field part will come, because this part from drain to source, it's a vertical electric field. Okay. There is 2 electric field is working. One is from drain to source. Another is from gate to bulb. Yes or no? 2 electric, because this is supply. It's the gate voltage, it's the bulb. There is a supply. So electric field will be there or not? It's a positive voltage. So electric field will be there in the X direction. And there is also a
Yes, sir.
voltage difference is here. So electric field in the Y direction will be there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But which is the strongest here? The electric field in which direction is more stronger?
Gate voltage.
Is in Y direction or X direction?
The source one.
Huh?
X direction.
Why?
Who said Y? See, 2 electric fields are there. Okay. So again I am thinking, see, this is 5 voltage, this is 5 voltage. Okay. VDB 5 voltage, it is 5 voltage. Now electric field in which direction is more? See, what is the electric field formula? Which is just remember, when electric field, it's voltage by distance.
Sir, gate direction will be more.
Obviously, because this you can see this charge is very less. Means this electric field will be more because its distance is very less compared to this. This is L. This thickness is the oxide thickness is very less. It's T0. It's 0.1 micron. For example, it's 1 micron. Like then definitely the X direction electric field will be comparatively more than Y direction electric field. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, be active actually. So that's why I'm saying why then more slope or less slope. So this very typical questions anyone can ask. If you go detail, this type of things they can ask. So if you are increasing voltage, okay, VGB we are increasing, this is constant. So definitely three things will happen. First, it will shift. Okay, the current will be more. Second, the threshold point will be shift. Third is the slope of that. After that threshold, the slope will be more. Because if you are increasing, though this electric means, okay, this electric field is stronger here. Okay, so that's why means if you get this voltage, okay, though you are increasing, so this voltage will increase in more means rapid rate compared to this voltage. Okay, after this threshold point. So that's why slope is more here. Okay. So you already know that early voltage in BJT case. In BJT characteristic of early voltage, remember one early voltage is come. It is come in a negative -20 voltage like that. In your book, it's mentioned. Yes or no? Early voltage, if you don't know just.
So we don't remember it now, sir.
Okay, you should remember that because you have not understood everything in physically. You have just remember equations. You have remember the definitions. That's why it's a problem. So see, this point is nothing but see if you do the graphs IDVDS. So this type of curve will come. Okay. So if you extrapolate, all will meet at a single point. Okay. So now you can see the slope. This is the more slope. This is again less slope, less like that. Okay, this is this thing I am saying. Okay, I'll plot in a small graph. So you can. So if you the VGB, if you will increase that VGB, okay. So this voltage will come. So initially in the first plot, if you say in the first plot. So this is for different VGS. Though I am taking B is the reference, so that's a that is VGB, but here VGS. So these are the curves. Okay, the threshold voltage is shifting or not?
Yes, sir.
And the if you calculate the slope, that slope also increasing. Okay, so that thing I am saying.
So in this case also early voltage will be there, sir.
Here also early voltage same type of things here also. Okay, so all will meet at the one point. So more slope in VGB2 case because electrical in this direction is more stronger. So this thing you can easily understood. So not a problem. So now it's time. Okay, how much? Okay, so you can cover this. So I'll expect everyone understood up to this.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay. So now we'll calculate the equation for IV characteristics. Okay. So before calculation of this, lot of things you should know. So that we'll discuss. So this is your P substrate. Okay. So this is your interface charge. Okay. This is the depletion region, and this is the Y direction. This is the X direction. Okay. So this is the device actually. So I'm showing that in the actually in the two-dimensional picture, but actually in 3D, this is the device. You can again also you can draw so this is the actual device. Okay. So the current will flow from that source to drain in throughout this region. Okay. So this channel, actually, this is the channel. Oh, I'm not drawing properly. Okay. So this is the channel. Okay. So this, suppose this is source, this is drain. Okay. So again, the drain. So that means source means this throughout this region, current will flow in this direction. Current flow in this. Current will flow in this direction. Okay. So I am only showing the 2D front view. Okay. But though there is a width of the transistor, generally we are saying whatever you are taking, W is equal to something, L is equal to something. You are taking L here. This is the L. Where is the W? Okay, this is nothing but the W. Okay. This part is nothing but the W. Okay. So from every point the current is flowing in direction in the, from drain to source. Okay. So this is the three-dimensional view. Okay. So now you can see. So from if you calculate the, means you derive the equation. So from this region we will take a small element. Okay. We will take this small element, that is dy. Okay. This is the L, total L. This y direction we will take a dy element. Okay. This point voltage, this is the voltage. So we assume Vy is equal to constant. Though Vy varies from here to here. Suppose this is 0, this is 5 volts. At this small, means it's a delta. Okay. At this delta amount of that region, we assume Vy is equal to constant. Okay. So assume Vy is constant, that small dy region. Okay. This is the distance. On this, we will calculate our means ID equation. Then finally, we will integrate. Okay. Throughout this region from here to here. Then we will finally we will get the exact equation. Okay. So you will first you will calculate on this small element. Then we will integrate from 0 to L. Okay, we will integrate from 0 to L. Okay, so finally we will get the. So this is the method how we means derive the equations. It's not straightforward. We can say this is the cutoff region, this is the linear region, that is a saturation. That is very means if you understood everything, then you can say. But how that equations came? What is the origin? So you will calculate from that. Okay. So in this way, you will take a small dy region. We will calculate all the equations on that dy region. Then we will able to finally then we will integrate. Then we will able to derive the whole equation. Okay. So here, so to calculate that equations or derive that equations, so you need to understand again 5. Okay. So 5 means 5 basic equations. You need to understand that 5 for any device analysis. Okay. For any device analysis, so always you need to apply 5 basic equations. Okay. What are that 5 basic equations? So though since I think you have studied in that PN junction or VJT, that 5 equations you have studied. Okay, so you have to apply for every device analysis. Okay, it's a diode or a VJT or whatever MOS. So that 5 equations is very important. What are that 5 equations? From that 5, 2 transport equations are there. Okay, 2 transport. What is the transport equation? That is transport of electrons and transport of holes. So true transport equation. Transport means from one place to another place. If hole is flowing or one place to another place, electron is flowing. We are saying the transport of electrons, transport of holes. Okay. So here also why we use transport equations, because electrons are transporting from here to here. Okay. at this particular point. So use that transport equation to derive our whole ID equation. So we need that transport equation. So in that transport equation, two, that is electron and hole. But here we will considering only electron, no holes. Okay, so this channel is because of only electron. So we will discard that whole part. So only one equation we will use here, transport equation of electrons. Okay. Again, that transport of electrons, again two things, that is drift and diffusion. What is drift and what is diffusion? Drift is if you are giving some voltage, then electric field is there. Due to that electric field is electron is accelerating or flowing, that is drift. If diffusion means suppose concentration. If suppose in p-n junction, you know, suppose it's a p, so more n, more electrons is this part. Suppose more electrons are there, less electrons are there. So obviously the electrons are from higher concentration to lower concentration will flow or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is diffusion. But if you are giving a supply here, due to that supply electrons will flow, that is drift. And due to the higher concentration to lower concentration, that is diffusion. So here we are giving a supply, drain to source. Okay, so that's why we will consider here drift, electron drift. That transport equation we will use. Okay, though the diffusion is very less, because here the concentration of electrons is more, here less, but there is very less. Okay, so that gradual channel approximation we are taking. So we are thinking this part is constant. That means this part and this part is almost uniform. So that's why there is no diffusion, only drift, because it is some voltage here, some voltage due to this electric field. So electrons are flowing. So that's why we will use only drift equation. Okay. So clear or not? Why use electron transport only and drift equation?
Yes, sir.
Because there is no hole, only electrons, we will consider only electrons. There is no diffusion, only due to that electric field or voltage electrons are flowing. That's why we use drift. Clear? So next is two continuity equations for electrons. Okay, electrons and holes. What is the continuity equation? That in this direction, that ID is always constant. Okay, this is suppose current is flowing in this drain to source. So everywhere the ID is constant or not? It's a single path. The ID is constant. Whatever current is flowing here, everywhere is current or constant or not? So at this point, that point, whatever current ID is flowing, also that current is flowing in this small region, delta y region.
Yes, sir.
Due to that electron only.
Yes, sir.
So that's why the continuity equation will be only for electrons. Okay. Next is Gauss law. First Gauss's law. Gauss's law कौन? Now change in electric field with the distance is equal to your rho by epsilon. Okay. Means dou Ex by dou X or dou Ey by dou E. Okay, is equal to your surface charge by epsilon, rho by epsilon. That is Gauss law. So here two electric field. One is y direction, another is x direction. Two electric fields are there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Giving voltage. So dou Ex by dx plus dou Ey by dy is equal to rho by epsilon. So that is the Gauss law. So if these three equations will solve, then we can able to understand, you are able to calculate your ID VDS curve. Okay. So got the point? For every device analysis, we need to understand, we need to apply these 5 basic equations. Okay, but though we are completely concentrate on electrons, so that's why two equations we can discard. That is transport of electrons, transport of holes, and a quantity related to holes. Okay, again there is no diffusion. We'll use drift transport, and electron that the quantity equation ID is equal to same as this point, and Gauss's law. When two electric field changes, so that's why the charge, whatever charge, that is the differences of that electric field with the distance, will get that surface charge. Okay, so these three importance are there. So I mentioned this thing. Transport equation, this is transport of electrons, transport of holes, drift diffusion, but only you are using electrons and drift. Okay, transport of electrons with drift current. So that is the equation we will use. Again, continuity equation. What is the continuity equation? That is, so Iy is constant with y, means Iy is equal to Id. At that small region, whatever we will consider, that Iy is equal to Id. Okay, that is the continuity equation. Okay, then Gauss's law, dou Ex by dx plus dou E is equal to rho by epsilon. Because this direction is your y, this is your x, so this is the summation. The charge, whatever charge will be there, it depends influence of this, due to the electric x direction, due to the electric field of y direction. Okay, whatever changes in the charge with respect to, that is your charge changes also. Okay, these three equations will use. So if you think about that Gauss's law, that small region, okay, dy. So in a 3D view, you can see this is initially it's ui. If you change delta ui, okay, you'll change in this direction, okay, and also x direction, ex is your dy. This is the dy region, okay. So this electric field is the ex plus dex, and this is the ey plus delta ey. Okay. So, but again, as the electric field in y direction is very less. Yes or no? Because its length is very high compared to that oxide thickness. Are you getting or not? That electric field in two directions, but the electric field in y direction is comparatively very small or not? Because in x direction, its thickness is very less. Means it will compare the thickness of T0, means oxide thickness. It's comparatively very less to that L. So Dx very high. Okay, so that's why this also we can discard this part. So finally, we add a lot of assumptions we have taken. So we discard the transport hole, continuity hole, then Gauss law also, this y direction electric field. So finally, this is your Gauss law. So by using these three equations, we will derive our ID VDS curve. Okay. So finally, the rate of change of electric field is much more than the rate of change of electric field in the y direction. Exactly. So finally, these things are important. So before going to that ID VDS curve, so this is your, initially we have assumed all the things with reference to the bulk, but for our ID VDS, we will discuss this source as the reference. So same thing, you can see VDB is nothing but VDS minus VS. VGB is equal to VGS minus VPS. Okay, so everything in the source. So this thing you can for our calculation ID VDS. So we'll use this arrangement and we'll calculate that or derive that IV characteristics. Okay. So this is the last. So in the next class we'll derive that. So till now everything you have understood or not? So that is my concern. If you will not understand, then whatever hard working I am doing, that is no meaning.
Yes, sir. We have understood. We have understood.
Yes, sir. It was clear.
Okay, thank
It
you.
was clear.
Okay, thank you. So go again this slide. Okay, I'll send now and video also. Okay, so next class, no, next day. So tomorrow at what time? Okay, stop that.